Our products are organically sourced natural healthy foods from Nigeria, West Africa, sourced directly from the small local farmers. At Naturalike, we believe what you put in your body and on your body can dramatically impact your health and well-being. Boost your energy levels and satisfy your cravings with a healthy dose of natural sweetness from our products. We're excited to help lead African foods and products into the global health and wellness markets. Follow us on Instagram at Naturalike, on Facebook at Naturalike LLC, and YouTube at Naturalike TV. These organically sourced foods are available at our Amazon store, amazon.com/Naturalike. Email us at naturalikeproducts@gmail.com.
One of the greatest empires in world history was the Mali Empire. The Mali Empire was one of the most prosperous and powerful empires in the antiquity of Africa. Its growth and expansion from the 13th century onwards was legendary and pivotal in the history and culture of Western Africa. The Mali Empire Volume 1, from author J.P. Martin, available on Amazon, is a book which provides the full historical record of the Mali Empire. From their control over the trans-Saharan trade routes and development of great cities such as Timbuktu, to their influential royal class who produced notable African kings such as Mansa Musa, Sundiata Keita, and Mansa Abubakar Keita II, the Mali Empire made a significant impression. This book is perfect for anyone interested in learning more about the history of Western Africa. Order your copy right now on Amazon. The Mali Empire, Volume 1, from author J.P. Martin. Go to Amazon.com and get your copy today.
Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Monday is off to a great start. Thank you so much for joining. Sorry about the absence. I've been traveling, hosted a group in Senegal for about 8 or 9 days, and we had an awesome time. It was for the Jazz Festival, the St. Louis Jazz Festival in Senegal, not in Missouri, in Senegal, and we had an awesome time. So was busy with that. And then I went to Nigeria, pulled up on Nigeria, and actually we will be returning to Nigeria August 4th through the 13th for the Osun Festival. So we have 4 spots left. If you're interested in joining us in Nigeria, we will love to have you. We'll love to host you and enjoy the beautiful country of Nigeria. So everyone, please do me a favor, hit the like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, make sure you share and make sure you subscribe. A couple of announcements. Shout out to my cousin who's in the chat room, everyone. Shout out to my cousin. This is my first cousin. Shout out to her all the way from Sacramento, California, my hometown. Couple of announcements before we jump into today's topic. So tours. So we're rolling to Nigeria August 4th through the 13th, August 4th through the 13th for the Osun Festival. If you're interested in joining us, we have 4 spots left. Again, we have 4 spots left. We will love to have you come and enjoy Nigeria. Like I said, I was just there, just got back, just returned from Nigeria on Saturday. So was in Nigeria for about a week. Went to Osun. Spent some time in Lagos, and now I'm back in the States. But so the bad news is I had to leave. Again, the bad news was I had to leave, but the good news is I'll be back in 2 months. Again, the good news is I will be back. I will be returning in 2 months, and I love to bring you all. So we have 4 spots left. 4 spots left for the Osun Festival Tour. We would love to have you come and enjoy the Osun Festival. Visit donfo.africa to learn more. And we have 2 spots left for Zanzibar for Safari Blue. Again, for Zanzibar for Safari Blue, we have 2 spots left. We'll love to host you in Zanzibar. And look, Zanzibar is food, white sand beaches, blue water, safari blue. That's what we're doing in Zanzibar. So please come and join us in Zanzibar or in Nigeria. We would love to have you. Let's jump into today's topic. This is very interesting because disclaimer, I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated. Again, I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi Incorporated. I pledged in I crossed in spring of 2002. Again, I crossed in spring of 2002. And the amount of people who are denouncing and renouncing their letters, this wasn't going on back when I was on the yard. This is a new phenomenon. And somebody, I want to address this question somebody asked me. In fact, before I address the question, the Divine Nine, Alpha Phi Alpha, Omega Psi Phi, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Zetas, Sigmas, Kappas, SG Rows. I don't understand why people will want to tear down these Black institutions, because these institutions are truly Black institutions. You know, people get thrown off by the Greek label. And the only reason why it's Greek was because when these institutions were created, it was during segregation and we weren't allowed to join, I guess, the white Greek organization. So we created our own. Outside of that, these are Black institutions who have withstood the test of time, that have been around for hundreds of plus years. Period. I mean, the NAACP, who started it? The NAACP wasn't started by, wasn't created by us. The majority of our institutions here in America that are considered Black institutions were not started by us. You know, you look at the HBCUs, the only like Black HBCU is Tuskegee. You have Bethune-Cookman. I mean, it's a handful. The rest, right? I mean, Spelman was named after, I think, Rockefeller's wife. Morehouse, who named Morehouse, but that's a whole nother story. So when we're dealing with the Divine Nine, hip hop, when people discuss hip hop, this argument is, who is hip hop a Black, is a Black culture, is a Black institution? Hip hop is trash now, and we don't even control it. So the majority of the so-called Black institutions, Black folks don't even control. The only Black institutions that I can say today that we control top to bottom is the Divine Nine. We made these organizations. These organizations have withstood the test of time. My fraternity was founded January 5th, 1911, and it's still here. You can't say that about the majority of Black institutions here in America. So why we would want to go and demonize these Black institutions in the name of, and you could believe what you want, you could be Christian, Muslim, whatever, but why we would demonize, I mean, think about it, the people who are demonizing the Divine Nine celebrate Christmas and Easter, which were pagan holidays that were adopted by the Christian church. Don't believe me? Look it up. And again, this is not to diss on anybody's religion. You can't denounce and renounce the Divine Nine or Black Greek organizations, and then say I'm doing it because I'm a Christian, but the foundation of Christianity is very Greek, is very Roman. Prove me wrong. I mean, we have the Council of Nicaea. Okay, just the names of the patriarchs in the Bible. And I will say there's more of a European construct when it comes to religion, Western religion, than there is the Divine Nine. So demonizing the Divine Nine in exchange for that just doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all, because these organizations are some of the longest living Black institutions out there. Prove me wrong, and aren't going anywhere. Have we had our issues? Absolutely. Again, have we had our issues? Absolutely. So somebody says, can you be a true African and be part of the Divine Nine? How's the Divine Nine benefit Africa? Just curious. Let me do this. And I'm not an alpha. I wish there was, if you're an alpha and if you're in a chat room, call in, because I really can't speak on it. But if you look at Alpha Phi Alpha, I mean, I'm on their website. Hold on, give me a second. I mean, when you watch the step shows, their probate shows, which, I've been to. I mean, you got the pyramids right there. So Africanity's incorporated in these fraternities and sororities. There's the pyramids right there. So you can't say they're anti-African when here's Africa. Now, again, I can't get in depth because I'm not an alpha. Charles, can you call in? Yeah, Charles, call in, because I need to know the history and the background and how, with the pharaohs and the pyramids, how that was, how that became a part of Alpha Phi Alpha. Charles, do me a favor, click on the link. Again, please click on them. Guys, links in the chat room. Link is in the chat room. Please click on the link. So, I've been hearing all types of just nonsense when it comes to these people who are, let me bring Mr. Smoot on. Hey, Mr. Smoot, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing well.
Hold on one second. I'm doing good. Okay, sorry, I had to mute the other channel. So yeah, I'm doing good.
No problem. So what are your thoughts on all this, people coming out and renouncing and denouncing the sororities, the fraternities? What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, well, just a little background just for full transparency. I am a member of Alpha Phi Alpha. As I said in the chat, I currently serve as the Illinois District Historian. I was initiated in 1987. I'm also an ordained minister. I was ordained in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and I did pastor a church for a number of years. So this is something I have dealt with. I think a lot of it is two-pronged. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding on both sides. I think that some of it is a very legalistic, literal view of scripture and of Christianity. And also, if I'm to be completely honest, I think we as Black Greek letter organizations don't always do a good enough job of explaining and detailing our rituals and our symbolisms. And
Mr.
so,
Smoot, if I can interject, but
sure.
I don't know how it is in Alpha, but some of that is supposed to be kept under wraps until people cross.
Oh, I'm sorry. What I mean? Yeah, I mean after you get initiated, you should go through a process where everything is laid out and explained to you in detail. And there should be, reminders, repeated, things. That doesn't always happen. And so it makes it easier for some of the misinformation when you talk about um, information contained in the oaths that we take. If you talk about the Christian ideology, symbols as relates to Egyptian symbols or some of the Greek symbols, there are definitive meanings behind that aren't always fully explained.
Okay. But so somebody sent me a message the other day, and I can't speak for Alpha, I can't speak for other organizations, but this idea that we worship Greek gods and make pledge to Greek gods, I think that's just sensationalism, if you ask me. We don't we don't.
I mean, if I can be blunt, that's ridiculous.
Right. So that's what's being spread around, that we're taking oaths to Greek goddesses and gods. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I don't know where they're getting this from.
If I can say, I think one of the problems is Black Greek letter organizations are inspired by Christian principles, but we are not Christian organizations. And so therefore, we are not talking about God and Jesus all the time. We have members who are Jewish and Muslim, or even atheist or agnostic. I've even met some brothers who have been Buddhist and Hindu. And so I think, that creates part of the problem, that if we're not always talking about Jesus and we've got these other symbols, like with Alpha, we have the Sphinx and we have other Egyptian symbolisms attached, but that speaks to the history of our people. That speaks to the history, representing the history of Black people and our struggles through the millennia. In some cases, things that predate Christianity. And so you have people who are uncomfortable with that. And that's one of the things that we have to deal with.
How do you feel about the future of the Divine Nine and Black Greek letter organizations, like coming in, like just the future in general?
Well, I want to agree with something that you said a few minutes ago when I first logged on. Are we, we have a rich legacy.
Right.
We have done a number of things that other organizations haven't done. We have partnered with other organizations to make them stronger and lift them up. Has everything we've done has been perfect? Absolutely not. Have we made mistakes? Absolutely. But when you talk about the future, we've learned from our mistakes.
Right.
As we move into areas of getting more involved in political situations, we were very involved in the last presidential election. I expect we'll be very involved in the next one. We're advocates for mentorship. You have a number of fraternities, particularly that are starting domestic violence awareness campaigns. The future, in terms of what I see, how our organizations are pivoting to be better stewards of our community in keeping with our founders, I think is bright. We just have to do a better job of being consistent at it.
Okay, let me let's see here. Salty, I'm not gonna say your name. Turn your camera on so I can see who you are, and you can turn it back off before I let you on. Salty, turn your camera on so I can see who you are, because you've never called in before. Then before you come on, you turn your camera off. Let me read the chat. Mr. Ife Olua, actually Phi Beta Sigma Zeta Phi Beta were the first MPHC orgs to charter chapters in Africa. Right, bingo. So, because somebody just said in the chat room that is anti-African. I forgot Kwame Nkrumah, Nami Azikiwe. You can turn your camera back off, Salty. They were all Sigmas. I forgot about that. I think they pledged at Lincoln University. I forgot about that. Go ahead, Salty.
Hey, brother. Hey, thanks for having me up. Am I on? Yeah, it looks like
you're on. You're on.
Hey, I was just talking about this the other day, and personally, I am a noob, and I think that there's a concerted effort
What's
to.
up? What's up, yo? What's up, Fi?
Oh, yo. I think there's a concerted effort to, would you say, destroy black organizations and institutions this way, and I don't know why or where it's coming from. I think, like, people are getting a little too far with the reaching. It's almost like when you go to school, schools have mascots, right? When you
Right.
matriculate into the curriculum, are you going to say that, you're also involving yourself with, quote unquote, demon worship or so forth, so forth? I mean, I think that, things have gone a little too far. And the truth is, a lot of these organizations were started as, at the turn of the century, would you say, mutual aid societies, be it, in the communal form or at the school where people are able to support each other. But it doesn't seem like people are actually proposing any sort of concerted solution. We can't sit up here and brag about all these towns that are built, or Black Wall Street, and would you say, the Black Renaissance, and the Tuskegee Airmen, and all these sort of achievements that black people have done, but at the same time tear them down. I'm just confused here. That's just my point.
Right. And that was the point I'm making. Like,
Yeah.
the Divine Nine. I mean, these are some of the longest living black institutions that have withstood the test of time, and why people are coming out now. Because I don't remember this denouncing on this level taking place back when I was in school, or but now it seems like every day somebody's coming out.
And if I can speak to that, I've been discussing these issues. As I said, I got made in '87. I've been discussing these issues in the '90s, since the '90s. I had a personal website up, and I wrote a couple of essays where I specifically didn't address this. I went back and forth with a bunch of people. None of this is new. This has been going on for a while. I think what we're seeing now is, with the proliferation of social media, these individuals who are denouncing and renouncing, they have a larger audience, and they're reaching more people. Now, I remember attending a debate back in the late '90s about this very thing. Maybe there were 50 people attended. Now we have things where these people are getting these information out, and it's reaching thousands, tens of thousands of people. But the information is it's the same stuff that I've been discussing for 30 years. The information hasn't changed, but the audience has expanded, and that has changed. And that's one of the things that I see that that is going on currently.
Okay. Okay, guys. Links in the chat room. If you're going to call in and after the conversation, please click on the link. Also, hit the like button. Again, please hit that like button as well. But the people who are denouncing, publicly denouncing, what do you think they're trying to achieve? Like, what do they gain from it?
So I think, from a Christian perspective, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to overtalk the other brother if he was about to say something. I think there is the aspect of that you have to make your testimony before the world. That you have to, go and proclaim the goodness and graciousness of Christ in this way, from their perspective. Now, we all do it in a different way. There's a joke that when I was in seminary, of someone said that, you give 5 people the same scripture, you'll come out with 10 different interpretations. And so, I think this is a part of that. I think these churches and some of these organizations are encouraging people to make these public declarations and these public admonitions towards it. I think some of it is a little bit of attention seeking. But I do think that, as I tell people, if something is between you and God, then leave it between you and God. So.
It's okay, Elder. You free to interrupt at anytime. You've earned that right. So
I truly
it's all
apologize, brother.
no, I wouldn't. I didn't take it back. You know, you have a level of wisdom that can only we can only imagine. So it's all to the good. Um, I would like to say that there's a level of communal narcissism, and social media has offered the sort of supply that people have not been able to reach. I do personally identify as Christian, bona fide Christian, 100%. But it's not like there has been droves of people going to church. Even recently, and we cannot imagine that the church has not been, would you say, above committing some of the things that they very much complain about. So if you're gonna, testify, we're gonna have to, all around do a testify if that's the sort of case. You know what I mean? I think that Black Greekdom is one of the few cultural assets where we really, really, really protect. I mean, anything when it comes to Black Greekdom in movies or media by and large, people very much, use that shield to say, hey, you're not going to appropriate it. I mean, we're starting to see kind of semblings of that, but we've been very much good guardians of that. But I think that a lot of it is disingenuous. Now, I do understand the aspect of testifying, and you're able to do that in public and in church and other venues and stuff like that. Um, but the same people who use these organizations as means to stomp on, they still use famous people who are in the Black community and uphold them. It just doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. Now I'll land my plane there.
Go ahead, B1.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Can you hear me good?
Loud and clear.
Oh, awesome, man. First time on the channel, and I just want to say I'm happy to be here. I want to say what's up to everybody, especially the Nubian Queens, while I have a chance to do so. I kind of jumped in a little bit late, but this is kind of something that I deal with myself personally,
Okay.
where if I allow myself to go down this rabbit hole, I'm like, man, the days of the week don't have African origin. The planets and the stars, those names don't have African origin. Like I would love if we all just had our own personal language here in the United States. That could be Swahili. But I have to say, like, the Black Greeks, without knowing the full story, I don't have anything wrong with the Divine Nine. I've been around, upstanding citizens in the Divine Nine. And I feel like in the same thought where it's like, hey, you know what? The days of the week may be named after Roman gods, Viking gods, the moons, the planets. Like if we're just gonna kind of throw it all out because it has Greek origins, like there's still good people who came and made history in our heritage. W.E.B. Du Bois, Martin Luther King. Like, why are we throwing the baby out with the bathwater? Is what I'm trying to say in this sense, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. Mr. Smoot, when people say that the Divine Nine aren't Black institutions, what would be your response to that?
I think that's laughable. Because I think all of our organizations were started, even when we were started and how we expanded, it was a purpose to, to quote School Days, the movie, to uplift the race. Alpha started to help with the literary and academic things. One of the things I respect about members of Kappa Alpha Psi is one of your big pushes early on was finding affordable and safe housing for students. When you look at how our organizations were developed, they were addressing specific needs. One of the things about the Deltas, it was to specifically address the lack of voting rights of Black women. So these were all aspects that impacted Black people on a core level. Brother Saul T brought up something about I'm sorry, or maybe it was B1, brought up something about the naming aspect. We have to remember turn of 20th century, being on Alpha at a Ivy League university, Kappa's at University of Indiana, it would have been suicide for our members to have started an organization with African names, with with those direct, obvious African meanings. They probably literally, and this is not hyperbole, they probably would not have survived. And so, but we have a lot of African inspired aspects to our organizations. And in our missions, our primary purpose is to be of service to our organizations. When you look at our mentorship programs, so Project Alpha or the Kappa League, or the Sigma Lights, I mean, these are programs specifically dedicated to mentoring and uplifting our young men in our community. And because we see the value in strengthening our young men. So when people say that we're not for the Black community, all you have to do is look at our service projects, look at our programs, look at what we do on a weekly basis. And that, that flies in the face of that.
Okay. We got links in the chat room. If you want to call in, you can add to the conversation. Again, if you want to call in and add to the conversation, please click on the link. So, and people keep bringing up the, why not change the Greek letter to Egyptian letters? And I've always said, like, no one's stopping anybody from, if you're attending a university to start your own Egyptian letter fraternity sorority, like, nobody's stopping you guys. I'll support it.
And there's been some that have, right? I want to say there's been some groups who've done that. And then there's been some groups who've even started Christian organizations,
right?
If I'm not mistaken. So you're 100% right.
Yeah. Nobody's stopping you. Go for
it. And I would also add that to change our names to something that our founders did not intend would, in my opinion, be an offense to our founders, because our names have meanings. There are specific purposes and points behind the meanings of our names and why certain things were changed. And I wouldn't want to facilitate the adjusting of that to dishonor our founders.
Right. I agree, guys. Links in the chat room. If you want to call in, click on the link. But yeah, when people say, change the names to give it Greek letter, Egyptian letters. Listen, go start your own Egyptian fraternity sorority. No problem. I'll support it. I'll get behind it. I'll come to the parties and hang out and support you guys. No problem. All right, and like I said, links in the chat, guys. Make sure you hit the like button as well, please. Please hit that like button. No, I'm Zeta Iota, Salty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, University of Georgia.
Oh, okay. Because I seen Oakland there, so
Yeah, I'm University of Georgia.
Okay.
But I'm from California originally, though.
Oh, me too.
What part?
LA. Actually, you know what, that lends to a interesting personal testimony with me and Kappa Alpha Psi.
So wait, are you a member of the off of Crenshaw, the alumni house on Crenshaw?
No. Mine was upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'm from California. But I'm from California though.
Okay.
But I would say this, growing up in South Central LA, particularly Watts, actually where Kappa League was actually first started right after the Watts riots.
I didn't know that. Oh wow, yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Locke High School was the first site, right there in Watts, right down the street from the 1965 Watts riots when the city was torn down and, nobody wanted to promote any sort of community economic development. Mm-hmm. There's been some sort of narrative that, these organizations don't go out into the community and actually, help. I was a Kappa Leaguer and I had the opportunity for that sort of quote unquote wealth transfer when it comes to knowledge, esteem, and the possibility that college was available to me led me to new heights where the alternative out there was obviously gang banging.
Game banging, right?
Yeah, and so with that being said, you would hear testimonies from people who were out there, gang banging, talking about some Illuminati stuff and this, that, and the third, and this vast conspiracy. But yet you out here selling drugs to your community. You out here killing people, right?
Right,
You're out
right.
here, obviously, putting your sisters out there to sell themselves and stuff like that. Whereas on the other hand, you have people who actually were in Watts who actually provided that sort of protective factor for me to see, see it that I was able to go to UC Berkeley full scholarship.
Okay.
Then University of Chicago full scholarship. University of Pennsylvania full scholarship. Okay, Cornell full scholarship. Right. At a certain point, we have to really think about now. If I didn't listen to those, if I had listened to those guys, imagine where I would be. People say things and they don't really understand.
Well, Salty, a lot of this babble, conspiracy theories, it comes from the prison system. So it's no coincidence that the game bangers are saying this, but they learn a lot of this stuff in prison, and they bring it out of prison. A lot of this stuff comes from the prison system. A lot of this conscious information, it comes from the prison system.
I wholly agree, and that leads me to my next point. We're the only community who feel that because of our narrative in the society that we have to be anchored by degeneracy, right? Why do we always have to feel like, oh, okay, well, when somebody graduates, they don't get no party, but when somebody comes home from prison, they get a barbecue or a celebration and stuff like that. It's okay for people to twerk because I'm my own woman and this, that, and the other. I think that this could be another ploy at soft power when it comes to an attack on Black community and its institutions to continue to be anchored by degeneracy, so we won't fully participate in society when it comes to community economic development, building capital, and doing the very things that we celebrate. We can't on one hand say F the system and this, that, and the other, and don't nobody build nothing, but at the same time, hell, all of the achievements that people did when it came to the Harlem Renaissance, Black Wall Street, because all that was a collection of churches, Black Greek letter organizations, mutual aid societies, and so forth. You know what I mean? And now when we don't have nothing, we always, want to point to the good old days, but nobody's, looking for any sort of structure to do so. I'll land my plane there.
Oh, cool. Let me pass the Art Nustal TV. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? I finally got somewhat of a Divine Nine panel. I can't believe I'm around a bunch of Kappas though, but it's all good. Omega Psi Fraternity Incorporated, 1911.
He pledged the wrong 1911. It's okay.
Hey, I told Tavis Smiley the same thing. But it's all good.
All y'all came too late, if you want to be honest.
Almost. Here we go.
And I told Penny Hardaway the same thing as well. But yeah, I appreciate this panel, man. I'm over here. First, I was gonna wait, but my students won't let me leave, so I'll be here real brief. Mm-hmm. But my issue that I always had was, there got to be some kind of process in our organizations when people come in to where if they do this foolishness, like all this stuff online and quote unquote revealing and stuff like that, there should be a lawsuit. They should have some kind of legal stuff, because basically a lot of these people knew what they were getting into. They knew, but the problem also is that I every now and then I run into. I'm glad you guys are talking about it. I keep running into people that have issues with us getting into organizations that they can never make it in. And then they try to make it so that, hey, This dude at the farmer's market, he saw, because I had my letters on, and he was like, well, I speak Greek, I speak African. I was like, dude, nobody asked you that. You know, just the fact that you're in an organization don't mean it should get you out of your character. You know,
Right.
it really, you know, I mean, I'm 20, oh shoot, I'm almost 30 years in now. So it just, but it's still the back of my mind being around our people. We need to do better, especially when it comes to our achievers, because the fact that you're able to get into an organization that there was a degree of effort to get in, you know, that should be applauded. I think like Saul T was talking about.
Right.
But I'll stick around and then chime in a little later, y'all.
All right. And Art Nustro, we got another nuke about to come on. Complex, go ahead, nuke.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Complex, go ahead and unmute yourself. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
What's going on, y'all? Why we gotta have mercy? What I do wrong?
He's surrounded by the nukes.
No, that's okay, man. We you know, we rock your parties. We get people in for y'all, so it's all good.
Okay, let me see it.
Complex, you're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Am I?
You're freezing up.
Okay.
You're on your Obama phone in Chicago. See, you in Chicago, you got one of the original Obama phones.
So now y'all about Chicago. Okay.
Yeah.
I see how y'all are.
Complex, you're on your Obama phone. We can't hear you.
It's mild salt stuck all in that phone.
Yeah. Complex, call back on either Verizon, T-Mobile. You know.
Hey, give me. Let me.
Yeah. We can't hear you. Yeah. Okay. We gotta get him back. All right, guys. Links in the chat room. Go ahead, B1.
Hey, I just wanted to say, man, thank you guys for having me on. I'm gonna gracefully bow out the chat right now. I just want to say, you asking should you change the name of the channel? I found this channel right before the pandemic, like 2019-ish.
Okay.
And you know, I love Search for Uhuru, understanding Uhuru means freedom.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, it's up to you. But I would say
I'm gonna keep it. In fact, I'm gonna have another like backup channel that's Prince Don and Samir, but Search for Uhuru ain't going nowhere. Yeah.
All right, man. Yeah, I'm just bowing out, bro. I'll see y'all guys later.
Okay, cool.
All right.
All right, links in the chat room if you want to call in, please. Hey, if you disagree, with this, you're more than welcome to call. I'm reading the comments. You're more than welcome to call in and let us know where, you know, why you disagree with us. You know, if you think we're boule sellouts, you're more than welcome to call in and explain why we're boule sellouts.
And actually, I wanted to, if I may, real quick, I actually wanted to bring up that exact point that Saul T brought up. I think another problem is there are elements in our community that view us with suspicion because we don't tell them everything that we do. Because we have sacred rituals, because we have things that are just for us that we must immediately be up to something. You know, Masonic organizations go through the same thing. All of the brouhaha over the boule, the links and other stuff. Any membership organization where you can't reveal everything to everyone is automatically viewed with suspicion. And I think our community, there are elements of people in our community that is another part of their issue, is that we don't reveal to, you know, if you walk up to someone and say, you know, someone may say, I'm sure you've heard it, well, what does it really mean to be a noob? What does being a noob mean? Why can't you tell me? You know, stuff like that, that elements of our community find that offensive, that we're not revealing that. And I think that contributes and that plays into some of the misinformation and misunderstandings of our organizations.
All right, Complex, go ahead. Unmute yourself.
All right, do I still sound the same?
No, you sound good now. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. All right, so, man, I think all the brothers made every point, you know, about what this is about. It's really, well, I didn't get initiated, or I don't know what you're doing, So if you don't tell me what you're doing, well, I want to leave. And then in the second point, there's another point to this whole thing. People who leave didn't even learn enough about their organization. They don't know enough about their own history, their own symbolisms, their own meaning. And they also don't know enough about the symbolism of Hebrew or Christianity or Islam, whatever they practice. They actually do not know enough about it. So I think it comes down to that. I think brothers can agree with that. They quote spiritual verses and all those type of things when they leave and do what they're doing. But they don't understand those same verses are in most of their rules of order, most of their rituals, most of everything they do. They can't say this is not African-centered because the thing is, they waiting on us to tell them what we do that's African, but it's pretty much like, come in and come see what's done as African. If Alpha loves the word aphorensis, they love the word aphorensis. If Omega Psi Phi says, I'm dealing with, let me try to say something that's not like secret. I'm dealing with, actually, it probably would be esoteric. Kappa, same way. Most of the African things were esoteric, as the brother said earlier, because you couldn't just come out and say it in those days. 1911, 1906, when Alpha tried to found themselves in New York really wasn't allowing black folks to even own businesses.
Very correct.
In 1903, when Alpha Kappa Nu founded themselves, Indiana wasn't allowing businesses to be founded by blacks. In 1911, when Kappa Alpha Psi wanted to become the first nationally recognized and nationally
here you go.
founded fraternity.
Here you go.
All of them all.
Here you go.
They didn't want to allow it, but Kappa actually pushed that through, so we became that. You know what I'm saying? So we want a state registered fraternity. We was founded nationally with alumni chapter, by the way, by the alumni member, by the way. But it's all love because our members, actually, our two main founders went to Howard University with the founders of Omega Psi Phi and with, the beta chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha. So it's all love. I love the fact that Omega Psi Phi says friendship is essential to the soul, because one of those friends is, two of those friends are two of our founders. Those friends were Coleman that were Omega Psi Phi founders. Hey, that's great in love, but that's another love up in there that is founders of Kappa Alpha Psi who moved
because he
to
was
Indiana
light skinned.
University.
I'm joking.
Who moved to Indiana University on purpose to integrate and reintegrate. So, but here's the biggest thing, Dynasty. I'm gonna say this. Mm-hmm. Ask anybody in your audience to name their 10 top black heroes. They cannot do it without finding a member of a black Greek letter organization involved. You can't.
Facts.
Now, I'll put money up for it. They better be well studied. I put $100 up today, Dynasty. I'm putting $100 up today. I'm good for it. I put $100 up today. Get somebody from your audience to name their real and true black heroes of history, of not new, but of the days before the 1960s. Name 10 of them. I will give you $100 if one of them is not a member of a black Greek letter organization.
I would like to add too, because we got this whole pro-black thing, and they're saying, well, these guys are this and that, and no sellouts or whatever. But I believe Asa Hilliard was Alpha, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Omega Psi Phi fraternity, Huey P. Newton, Sigma, Johnny Cochran, Kappa. You know what I'm saying? So you got all of them there, but people just trying to make up stuff because, again, they couldn't fit the mold. They just wasn't accepted. And there's nothing against them on that, but you just got to stay in your lane and leave people where they be so they can be able to follow the legacy that our founders and people that before us done. I don't know why there's always this disruption. You know what's crazy? I don't know if Dinah's mentioned it, but I don't hear this about white fraternities and sororities.
Right.
They don't go out of their way to do this. It's usually us.
You know what?
I mean,
Art?
Go ahead.
You know what, Art? Oh, by the way, Art actually invited me here. He always, so all that stuffy talking. I get it all the time from that, that damn dog there. But you know what? There's 2 points I want to make of this. First, it is true that, in secret, that we burn animals over a fire in effigy. You want to know
Yeah,
what the
with some
secret is?
beer.
Yeah, you want to know what the secret is? We season the meat and we put that damn thing on the damn barbecue pit.
Right.
If that's what you're thinking.
That
I
is a
think
ritual.
ritualistically, right?
I heard it was the Q's that first put the raisins in the potato salad.
Oh, heck
That's
no.
what I heard.
Those are people that like Becky's. So we're cotton pickers. I don't know about you guys.
But the second point is, I think it's far too easier to throw rocks and hide their hand. It's much harder to go to the neighborhood gangbanger or a prisoner to be critical about what they're doing in the community, right? About all the degeneracy and things that they do to harm the community. It's much easier knowing that people have stuff to lose to pick at them and to talk stuff and put them out in public commentary and stuff like that. But yet you do nothing. You do nothing when people are being kids are being sold cough syrup. You do nothing when these kids get sent their way with guns and stuff like that. You do nothing. You fall silent. You honor that code though, right? You stop snitching, don't you? Right? You don't have no problem. You don't have no problem when people are twerking on restaurants, tables and stuff like that. You turn the other way when it comes to these black institutions, and they have a hard time getting permits and things like that to begin with because the mayor don't want them to make any money, don't you? Right? Because they have something to lose, right? But you take some young punk from the streets, you're silent. And guess what? It's the majority of us as a black community who are actually functional than those who are not functional.
Yeah.
But it's far too easy to be a coward and actually go after people who are working, productive individuals who actually contribute and throw the rock and hide their hand. I just wanted to point that out, though.
Hey, I want to say something about speaking to cowards. Somebody in Dinah's group just said Freemasons and Black related organizations are demonic. Now, here's going to be the thing. Again, demonic. You want to define demonic. This man is out here, brother, what's your name again that just spoke?
You can just call me Salty.
Salty balls, pause.
Yeah. Damn. No, just salty, man.
Salty just broke down how a lot of people allow so many things happening in the community and do nothing about it. That's demonic. He just actually named demonic things. While you were speaking, Salty, somebody posted in his chat, Freemasons and Black letter fraternities or Greek letter organizations are demonic. Here's the thing. I've been a member of both Freemasons and Black letter organizations. I've also been a member of Gangster Disciples, if you want to be real about it. So, everybody got handshakes, everybody got picnics, everybody got dues, everybody got literature, everybody got meetings, all the same.
And getting courted on, right? And getting jumped in. Because I grew up in LA.
I ain't gonna miss none of that stuff. So
yeah, exactly. But it's the truth. It's the truth.
And Africa has the same type of thing. It's called initiations. When we use their title and their terminology, yeah, it sounds, somebody can say a word like demonic. And the person who said demonic, I'm not attacking you. It's okay. It's okay. I mean, I want to give you a hug because you haven't joined anything or been initiated to anything more than likely. And that's okay. Jesus Christ was initiated. How about that? The Hebrews, the Kohanes in the book of Leviticus are initiated. They have the oil rubbed down Aaron's beard. They have it to where Moses or Moshe and others have to actually initiate them. That is in the book of Exodus, also called Shemot, for those who want to read. Initiations happen in Islam. Initiations happen in Christianity. It happens in Hebrew, and it happens in Black related organizations. It happens in Freemasonry. Freemasonry is actually in your Bible. Freemasons actually have something to do with your Bible. You want to find a Freemason? Look at your Bible. You want to find a Black letter organization? The largest Black Greek letter organization in the world It's called Chi Rho Sigma Tau. I'm gonna give it to you again. CH Rho R. I can throw iota in there if I want. Sigma Tau. Christianity. It's the largest Black Greek organization in the world.
That's interesting. Okay.
Very.
Hey, if I can interrupt just for a minute, Brother Prince. I'm sorry. I need to get back. I need to get back to work. But I do want to thank you for allowing me to come in and share with you. I've enjoyed it, brothers. I've enjoyed the dialogue, and hopefully, actually, the District of Illinois of Alfalfa, we're going to be having a panel discussion on this very thing in about 2 weeks ourselves.
Okay.
So keep your eyes open. We hope you can come in. But
just let me
thank you. Yeah, thank you to everybody.
Where y'all gonna be at, brother, with that discussion?
We'll be here on YouTube as well. District of Illinois of Alpha Phi Alpha. We have a channel. So we will be doing it the same format as this.
It's gonna be only alphas or all Greeks?
No, it's be for everybody. Be for everybody.
Okay.
So we welcome everybody. I'll make sure that we post the information. But I just wanted to thank all of you all for allowing me to fellowship with you all today. And good luck to you, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right.
Guys, I'll wait for the next person that called in to come in. But I really want some people from your chat who says demonic and everything to come in, bring some Bible verses, some Hebrew verses. Tell them come on in, Dynast.
Well, you know how I do. The link is in the chat room. It's open to anybody to click on the link and call in. But some people say they drive in. They start making.
Nah, I can't hear that. I got verses for them too. Tell them come on in. Let's do this Bible thing. Let's do it.
I wanted to add something else in, and I did somewhat of some research. I can't really display it here, but a lot of our founders traveled overseas. They don't, and some of these ideals that they came up with, they brought them back here. So that's the part I think that people don't understand is that it was a higher level of thinking when they put this stuff together. When you start doing the history, you start scratching your head. And all these organizations, you're like, wow, what were they on? So when you get these kind of things out there, I can speak on my organization. We had Colonel Charles Young. Then we had a few people that went to the war. So once they went, not only they learned things, but this brother mentioned that a lot of them became Masonic. Excuse the noise, y'all. I'm a teacher.
That's fine. No, you good.
So they had all these things put together, and then you can tell the ones that were about that took it further, and the ones that weren't just went on about their lives. So I think that's the thing that we got to understand is that every time you're in an organization that you're not privy to, just can't just walk in. There's certain things that you would have to understand and know that there's a process. And within that process, then you start to be able to see that, hey, it's almost like between walking and running in church. That was the saying that they used to tell us sometimes, like, man, do you run in church? Meaning that you don't just disrespect the sacred ground that you came into. So I just want to lay that out there that people didn't pull these ideals out of their butt just to make fraternities and sororities. This stuff was like taken from all over the world to put this stuff together and bring it back home and improve our communities. So
yes,
they were really, really advanced back then, man. But go ahead, y'all.
Guys, please hit the like button again. Please hit that like button, and then links in the chat room. If you disagree, click on the link and call in. Link is open to everybody. I'll go ahead, Complex.
That was me. Sorry.
Go ahead, Salty. Go ahead, Salty.
I'm not a Mason, but I will say this. Okay. For those who are on this and are reaching, I got a couple of things I want you all to do. Okay. When you go to school, don't graduate, and I'll tell you why. Right? Okay. When you enter a school, guess what? You're entering, you're matriculating, right? When you graduate and you walk across the stage and stuff like that, all of it. So if you renounce it all. The second thing too is if you do your research, you will find that Black Freemasonry in this country had a huge hand in the Underground Railroad. Yes, they did. And a lot of the would you say movements when it came to people out and about in the swamps and in the bayous and things of the sort. So there was a reason why the Great Dismal Swamp was dangerous for the public, but not dangerous. I mean, but safe for some, or whatever the case may be, right? All those maroons and things like that. Who do you think they interacted with? Who do you think they interacted with to know whether or not it was safe or not? But I land my plane there.
Salty. Thank you, brother. I'm gonna add to what you just said. Can you hear me, Dynast? Because I can't hear.
I hear you loud and clear. I hear you.
To add to what you said, again, everybody heard me say Christianity is the largest Black Greek letter organization in the world. They have nothing to say. Everybody heard me say that Hebrews get initiated when they're Kohen. You have a priest, which is called a Kohen, they're initiated. Most of these people, except for an imam, well, imam still has a type of initiation. Muslims have an akikah when their babies are born. Hebrews have a initiation when their babies are born. Christianity, they call it christening. You do the thing you're asking about. If you just master the thing you say you're doing, you won't have to worry about what everybody else is doing. But I feel sorry that most people who practice one of the three top religions don't even know or have not exacted the full amount and the full initiations of that religion, because they all have them. And I do feel empathetic that you all haven't been able to go through that to have your own thing that you can't tell someone else until you can be proud of them for coming across it. Now, to add and give some pushback though, if I had to denounce a fraternity, it would be because of despotism. I wouldn't denounce because of religion that I don't understand or have not exacted enough. If I have to denounce and I come to Dynast and say, hey, I want to denounce Kappa, it's going to be because of despotism. The same despotism we see when we see people wear wigs in Africa and do European things happen in some organizations, including your church, your synagogue, your mosque. It happens. So when I see despotism, when I see narcissism, things of that nature happening, and it's just uncontrollable, if I had to denounce for something, it would be for that. And I would give Dynast first exclusive that if I have to denounce anything, it would be because someone believe they can do whatever they want to do to Black folks, just like the folks we don't like doing things to us, and we're supposed to accept it. I cannot sit here and fight the supremacists of the other opposite color and then sit here and allow somebody because they're Black to do whatever they want to do to me. So if I have to denounce for any reason, that would be my reason. And that I would give exclusively to Dynast coming up. However, someone come in and tell us, instead of posting, could you please come in the name of Jesus Christ? Could you please come in the name of Yahweh? Could you please come in the name of Allah? And come in and say, what is demonic about these organizations where Prince Hall was one of the first Blacks that said, return us to Africa if you can't treat us right. And it was the first one to use the word African. It wasn't Edward Wilmot Blyden, who was also a Prince Hall Mason. It wasn't him. And other people you thought. Prince Hall was one of the first ones that put it on the government records. And you can actually Google it or go to the National Archives of the United States of America and look up Prince Hall letters. He wrote to say, we are Africans, and you can't treat us right. So while Brother Salty said they was the ones sneaking you in churches and making the Underground Railroad, sneaking you in forests and this and that, also they were the first one they saw the word African to unite a whole continent to say that that's where we're from. He was the first one when it was like about 2-3 years old to say the word African to use it. Prince Hall of the Prince Hall Freemasons. So I think it's just a lack of history. But when we tell you the history, if you want the secrets, this was actually a secret back in the day. I'm telling you right now. Question is, do you accept it? I see it there.
Hold on. RSXF, turn your camera on so I can verify you're not a troll. Then you can turn it back off once I verify and I'll bring you on. So turn your camera on first, RSXF. Because you never called in before. All right, links in the chat room, Again, RSXF, you got to turn your camera on so I can verify that you're not a troll, then I could bring you on. Okay, links in the chat room. If you want to call in after the conversation, please click on the link. Again, if you want to call in after the conversation, please click on the link. RSXF, if you're not going to turn your camera on, I'm going to just remove you from the studio. All right, there we go. He left. All right.
Okay. With that being said, I think that people should be, like I said, just as conscientious about all of the monetary improprieties that are going on in church, the willingness and acceptance of degeneracy when it comes to people harming children in the church. Go all the way with it. That choir director you like, right? I'm not trying to speak on anybody's, would you say lifestyle or anything like that. Go 100% with it if that's what you're going to do. You can't look at one particular group and, throw the rock and hide the hand, but accept others. And this is why people think the church is a joke, right? And I am Christian, by the way, bona fide Christian. You look to your left, you look to your right, right? You hardly see any brothers in church anymore because of, people not necessarily doing anything to preserve Black families and marriages and things like that, right? And it used to actually be a place where, people used to resolve their differences and things of the sort. So, I mean, I think what's going on is that, it's part of the sort of false prophetry that exists nowadays when it comes to what you call the what do they call it? The sort of subculture where people aren't really holding people accountable. So before you throw the rock and hide the hand, one has to look within. Quite honestly.
All right, guys. Link is in the chat room. If you want to call in, if you disagree with us, I mean, I see a lot of comments in the chat room, but click on the link.
They're not defending Jesus Christ. They're not defending the Tau cross. They're not defending the Chi cross. They're not defending the Greek letters that they have. They're not defending the Greek words they say. Christos is Greek. They write Greek letters every day, and I have nothing but love for my Greek letter Christians. But you got to know what you are. You are rocking Greek letters. That cross, you want a T cross, which is Tau, and you want an X-looking cross, which is Chi. But you rep that. Jesus rep that. Paul spoke Greek. He's a Roman citizen. He spoke Latin. Latinum is the place it comes from. So we rocking the same letters because it has the same kind of backing. But the power of Christ compels you. Come on here and defend. Or just show your love and then show your understanding. Art, could you please explain those days of the week you was explaining that are wrong, and they say every day? You ask them what the day is, and they're going to say Moon Day. Tomorrow they're going to say it's Tuesday, which is another god. Unless they don't say it's Woden's Day, which is Wednesday. Go ahead, tell them, Art.
They're all planetary, by the way.
Yes, sir.
Planetary.
You, Art.
But how'd you know I knew that? Okay.
You brought it up.
I did? Okay. But the other part, this is a question though, and me and Salty been talking about this for a while, but how often do we have Divine Nine panels talking about the programs that we have for the community? For like scholarships and feeding the homeless and voter registration and all these different things. Do we often have panels?
You're a Q, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. I believe we all have that. Every provincial event and every chapter event that is public.
No, I'm talking about on these channels. I'm talking about on channels, not in our organizations.
Go ahead, Art. I mean, it happens
on channels.
They have
yeah.
it. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's the thing is that we don't. I think that since we got this YouTube, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I think we need to utilize this more because basically it does help when the word gets out when we're trying to donate money and we're trying to Like I was chair of the talent hunt, where we were able to give scholarships to students that would win first, second prize and send them off to a different place and then let them win a full ride scholarship to wherever college they want to go to. Right. So
All right, Red Squid X, you're good to go. You can turn the camera off if you want to.
sorry about that. I had to tell these kids to get to be quiet. But anyhow, I mean, hopefully if anybody's listening, and I'm more than willing to either host a panel or whoever else, and then just, start coming together, and just because I think a lot of people keep listening to this Illuminati crap and all
Right.
this other stuff. I'm on the phone. So it's a lot of stuff. I'm just tired of hearing it. I'm like, we do way more than all this crap that you're hearing based on people that probably see a pamphlet or read or look at an old video or something. I'll leave it at that.
All right. Red Squid X, go ahead.
Okay, peace and salutes to y'all. Peace to the panel, the chat, and the host. I've been subscribed for a while, and so I kind of picked up on you here and there over the time. So I just read the title and thought that I'll join the panel and to talk about this title. It says, "Why are Black people now destroying the Black institutions?" And yeah, so the Illuminati stuff. I think that it's about reorganization, and like that's what the graduates should be doing, because these are like old institutions and they need to be reformed. It's just that simple. If you want to get into who's a witch or not and all that, but really it's about reformation. And a lot of times the people in our past, they don't have the ability to see things the way we do it. You
kept going in and out, but go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I think reform. I don't think nobody's trying to destroy Black institutions. I think that if anything, people is trying to remove foreign foreign influence. Even though we might not see foreigners like say to that.
Yeah, Ray, you keep going in and out.
I apologize. Well, can I rejoin without, because I'm on my phone so I can show my picture.
Okay.
Dynast, I want to speak here because I don't have a lot of time.
Go ahead.
And peace to everybody.
Peace, information, man. Show peace, brother.
What's going on, brother Red? Dynast, I think that the answer to this, or the question, is very easy, and this is something that Black people don't want to deal with. And as a man who works in mental health, I see it all the time. We have a deep-seated hate for ourselves as a people. We don't respect ourselves. We don't expect Black people in authority. We don't even respect Black men in authority. But I saw this when I was in school. If the Black instructor or professor tells you that he wants you to come to class on time, and this is what's expected of you, you come to him with excuses. But when the white teacher or the white society tells you this is what you're supposed to do, this is the requirements, we don't come to them with excuses, because we know that there's a penalty to pay when you don't follow the rules of white society. But we have no respect for Black society. And in some ways, because of that, we cannot respect Black institutions. And then unfortunately, we have those that run Black institutions who have failed us because there is a lack of respect for each other.
Information.
I'm telling it like it
power.
is here. Okay? Self-hate. When you don't like yourself, you project onto that what you hate about yourself onto those that look like you. Just like when it comes to family dynamics, you tend to do what? People, when they're in pain, you scream out towards those that you're most closest to, that look like you, that you have a kinship to. This is what's going on. Okay, look, Black people, we love to get into conspiracies. We love to talk about the Illuminati. We love to talk about all this bullshit. Oh, Greek letter organization. Some of you who have these opinions, you don't know anything about these organizations because you don't even know the real history as to why Greek letters were termed. Okay, or even the history of Black people's presence in ancient Greek culture. So, you know, I look at what am I doing in society to better my community. We oftentimes get away from what Black people are actually doing. Anytime, this shows you the deep hate that we have for ourselves. Anytime I can do a video talking about the life expectancy of Black children when being handled by white doctors versus Black doctors, or Black people's health is in better hands when they're being handled by a competent Black physician versus a white physician, based on data statistics that have come out, and you won't have Black people that will come over, listen to such content and learn something, but I can get a lot more views if I'm talking about P. Diddy, some degenerate behavior of a Black man or a Black woman, because that's what we like. That's the problem, Dynast. I'm just saying, I'm going to land my plane there. That is our problem, and we're in denial of it.
All right, a king within one. Go ahead.
What's going on, everybody?
What's going on?
I kind of disagree with the brother when he was talking about, you know, Black people don't love themselves, or they hate themselves, and you know they listen to white folks and don't listen to Black folks. That's, to me, that's not the situation. I think it's rebellion all the way across the board. You know, and I think a lot of people don't know how they should be rebelling, and you know, everybody has a different solution to how things need to be done. As far as, you know, the Divine Nine, I don't really. I understand where people are coming from. You know what I'm saying? You know, historically, you know what I'm saying, that they were actually, you know, at least to my knowledge, they were actually some, you know, some good, great things going on in there. However, a lot of people that, or a lot of Black people don't see, like the fella was saying, they don't see a whole lot of action from them. Scholarships is good, but you know, a lot of people don't even go to school. They don't even go to college. You know, certain things, a lot of stuff that happens in the community, you know what I'm saying, they're not actually taking up the banner for it. So that you have a huge section of the population, of the Black population, that don't, you know, they don't see any good in it. For instance, I see people in, say, Detroit, for instance, they have Black community activists. These fellas was like felons and stuff like that, and they were going around, you know, policing the community and stuff like that. You don't really see them having help, or people, you know, trying to push that, you know what I'm saying, in other places. And I'm not saying that it's their job to do that. I'm saying that, you know, if they were seen in the community, you know, helping those guys out, maybe, I don't know, if, you know, there's certain things that those guys need to you know, to even do that. You know, if just showing up, you know, stuff, just different things, man. You know, I didn't pledge for the reasons that I can't pledge for anything like that. I can't pledge, you know, if you're a Christian, you're not supposed to pledge to anything but the Lord. So, you know, for people to claim that they're Christians and they pledging, you know, to these, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, you know, this is you know, it's a misnomer. So But yeah, that's all I got, bro.
Can
I
I
just wanted to say this
politely?
to the brother. I know you disagree with some of the things I just said, but you contradicting yourself because you just stood up there and said that there are black people who are not getting out there and helping organizations or grassroots organizations that you have in the
No,
community that are doing some things
no,
that they're not getting enough help that they should get, or
no. That's
where are you
not what I
saying?
said. That's
Let
not
me
what I
hear your
said.
point correctly then.
All right, I said that in the community, there's a
Hmm.
large section of the black population
Yes, sir.
that doesn't see anything from the Greek organizations.
Okay.
So,
I can
uh,
tell you right now in the community that I'm in, we have a program called Alpha Academy. We work with youth. We mentor them from the time they're from elementary into high school and they're trickling through the system. We also have a program in which we work with the brothers, the husbands, the fathers and mothers to deal with some of the issues that they deal with raising young black males. We target. We also do mentorship. I
right,
myself, at the age of 21, 19 years old, worked in the Sunnydale housing project area of San Francisco near Cow Palace, where we actually dealt with gang members and created a boys and girls club, which the community runs and owns. And there was also a program that we left behind to deal with youth coming out of the juvenile system. I myself deal with black men in the prison system. So when you say that, this is what I just said before. A lot of people do a lot of talking about these organizations, but you don't do a deep dive about what they're actually doing, because what they put out there in the media to you is just sort of stuff that's on the surface. And you don't
well,
and you can't expect that the media is going to report so many things that some of these organizations are doing. And in some cases, we don't even get, if any, press
well,
because they don't
let me ask
want
you
you
a
to
question.
see what we're
Let me,
actually doing.
let me ask you a question, right?
Yes, sir.
If you at your house in your community, your neighborhood, you at
Yes,
your
sir.
house. If the mailman come by there, when the mailman come by there, you see the mailman.
Yes, sir.
Every day you see that mailman. So can't nobody come on TV or on no YouTube and tell me that the mailman don't come by. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Right. So
But the point I'm trying to make, brother, is that I get what you're saying about there are those in the community who are not seeing what's being done. I agree with
mhm.
you on that. However, there are things being done in some communities where people are aware, and in some cases, people sometimes are not aware of a lot of things that there are black organizations out there that are doing. It's not even about Greek organization. There are a lot of grassroots black organizations
Yes, sir.
that are doing great things that nobody
Yes,
knows
sir.
about because they don't get any pub. And in some cases, we have segments in our community who don't get involved themselves and
That's
give a
right.
damn. That's
That's
why
right.
I said black people, brother, to a
That's
certain
right.
degree, we do have some envy, some hate, and jealousy. Hell, I've seen situations where people have said, oh, they think they better than somebody because you're simply trying to do something in a community, and then you have Negroes that will hate on you because you are doing something productive and call you a nerd or a little Oreo cookie. Come on,
Well,
don't tell me that black folks don't have this type of attitude.
that happens in every community.
Thank you, sir.
So
That's all I'm
can I
saying. Usually, like it's black, but it happens in every community.
Right,
You got
but see,
some
this is the
people
thing though,
of
brother, and
a very
I'm gonna rest my
demographic
mic
that's
for other
gonna,
people to talk.
that's
This is the thing
gonna
though,
do
brother.
that.
It does happen in every community, but this is where we mess up as a people. I don't live in every community. I deal with
Yeah.
black people, been around black
But
people, live
but
around
that's
black
you.
people.
That's
So
you.
therefore,
A lot of the people that I know that's in the Divine Nine don't even live in black communities.
right, but check this out,
That's
brother.
what That's what I'm talking
And
about. All right
and
now.
even
And I
All
know
right.
a lot
check
that
this
do.
out.
I know a lot that
Thank you.
don't.
There are a lot of check this out, brother. There are a lot of black people, no matter whether you're in the Divine Nine or not, who have
I'm
gone to
just
college,
saying.
gotten education. Maybe they don't live physically in the community anymore, physically, but they actually have given back and done more than those who quote unquote supposed to be I'm down, I'm from the hood.
I'm
Brother,
not. I'm not. I'm
you're
not
talking
disputing
to a
that.
brother,
I'm not.
you're
No,
talking
no, bro.
you
I'm not. I'm not disputing that. You're right.
okay.
I'm not
Okay.
disputing that. What the question was,
Okay, sir.
right? What the question was why are people trying to destroy, right, the
Yes,
black
sir.
institutions, right? Well,
Right.
I'm just telling you you know, there's a large segment of the population that don't see any good. I'm not saying that you're not doing anything, right?
Okay. But let me
Because
ask you this question.
I got people in my family, you know what I'm
I hear
saying,
you.
that's in, you know, that they always doing stuff. You know what I'm
But
saying?
check this out.
Always.
Check this out. You've always had in the black community a segment of black people who go to college, who might be living more upperly mobiled. And then you always have a segment of black people who might be living in a more economically impoverished situation, who
That's right.
don't know what's going on with black people who are in this level. You're always going to have that
That's right.
divide. This is the problem I've always had, brother. We get on
Correct.
social media and we talk about how black people should discriminate for the best, that we should have a standard, we should be on code. And then when you have black people who create organizations that are based on looking at the best of our people who are actually trying to achieve something other than being outside, in and out of jail and prison, and pushing all this ignorance that you see in the rap music and the drugs and the weed smoking. When we get black people who try to do those things, then we call them Oreos and sellouts. But then at the same time, when these black people who do degenerate things make us look bad, then we say, man, when we gonna do better? You can't have it both ways. You can't criticize black people who are trying to have a different standard.
Information
Right?
man,
I mean,
could you get him?
It's just ridiculous.
Information man, can we all get this brother's description of what he means by the community? I'm curious about that. What do you mean move out the community? What kind of community are you talking about?
Okay, let me ask you this. When they say that the black dollar circulates in the community for about 6 hours, you know what that's talking about, right?
Yeah, but at the same
Right,
time, I'm just trying.
right. So when I say community, that's what I'm talking about, the community.
But you
Let me ask you this question, brother.
The community consists of people that's doing well, right? And people that's not doing well. So if you only
Right.
doing stuff for the people that do well, I mean, of course the people
Right.
that's not well they're gonna, you know, they're not
But
gonna
it's still
know who you
community,
are.
right?
They're not
It's
gonna
still
know who you
community,
are,
right?
right? Excuse me?
But you just mentioned earlier, brother, that it's not just black people, it's everybody.
It's not. But that's what we talking about. That's what you said. That's what we talking about, right?
Most of my life,
Yeah.
I'm not really concerned about the Asian
Right.
man, the white
That's what I
man,
just said.
or other groups, because they've got their own set of problems. And see, look,
That's what I just
I'll give
said,
you an
though. I
insight,
just
brother.
said that just now. I just said that. That's why I said
live
the
in
community.
California,
He
so I
wanted to
have
know
the
what
privilege.
community.
I have the privilege of seeing all these other ethnic groups that I've grown up around, and they got
Yeah.
problems too. But I'm not
Of course.
focused on their problems. I'm focused on the issues around black people. Now, we know that there's
Right.
different types of black communities. I've been around all
right.
different types of black people, rich, poor, you name
Yeah,
it,
me too.
everything, right?
Yeah.
And
Trying to
so,
marry Tate.
but this is our problem. And I got to bring this up. It goes back to what I said in the beginning. When a black person is speaking in proper English diction, they get made fun of. Or if you
Yeah.
play the violin, like I played the violin growing up, right? And if
Right.
you play the violin or anything, you're seen as corny. But at the same time, I was a basketball player too. I could play ball. I could play b-ball. Everybody be like, "Oh man, you playing that b-ball?" I walk down the street with a violin, I get made fun of.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is sometimes when black people
Is it?
are trying to do things that are outside the stereotypes of what we're looked at as doing,
Yeah.
we get
Yeah.
made fun of by our own people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
You
talking
act
about
like
there's
you
some
wait.
self out
Wait.
there.
Wait. You act like it's not part of our culture to roast each other.
Well, see, that's another
That's what
excuse
we.
that
That's
we
what
make.
we do.
That's
That's
another
not
No,
part
that
of
ain't no
our
excuse.
culture. No.
That ain't no
I can't go
excuse.
for
That
that
ain't
either.
no excuse.
It
That
is
ain't no
an
excuse.
It's just
That ain't no.
because you know
Man,
That
it
came with
doesn't.
slavery.
you know
Roasting
why?
came. That does came with
No.
slavery. That did not
You
come
know
with our
why?
Okay.
culture. We
Thank
African.
you,
Okay.
brother.
Part of our
It's
culture was
self-hate.
slavery. What are you talking about?
But sir,
That's
sir,
a
Oh,
that's a
so we should
small
be
part.
anchored.
We
go
sit
We
here
ahead.
should
Part
be
of
picking
our
on
anchored
each
by
culture.
the
other.
Part of.
community of it.
But see,
The only thing
you
you can do
guys
to change that is
you
stop
you
existing.
just agreed with what I just said in the beginning. It's all
What?
self-hate. Where you let's go
How
back.
was it
Let's go back,
self-hate?
brother. Where do you think? Check this out. Now I'm gonna teach you a lesson. This is the information man. You're gonna get a
Can't teach
lesson
me no
today.
lesson. You can't teach me no lesson
Now
on
check
that.
this out, brother.
'Cause I don't
This
hate
all
nobody
comes
I'm
out of
joking
slavery,
on.
like the
When I'm
brothers are
cracking
saying
on
here.
somebody,
Where do
I
you
don't
think
hate them. I don't
brother?
hate the people I'm cracking
Okay,
on.
But I'm saying in general, my good brother, in general.
In general.
Where do you think this stuff comes from? When we would get whipped as kids, where they would go out there and say, get a tree branch, we're going to give you a whipping. When black people would get whipped with cords and get spanked, all that came out of the trauma and the cultural conditioning of slavery. Talking bad about each other and talking down on each other, which we call roasting, as a way to like make it seem like, oh, we just being cool with each other. Just like we make excuses for the N-word, it's all part of the psychological conditioning that was played on us through the slave experience on them damn plantations. Let's keep it real, brother, and tell the truth.
What do you think the N word came from? What, for us using it like we do now? Where do you think? Why do you think we started using it like that? You say you're from San Francisco, right?
I'm gonna let other brothers speak. Where do we get that from?
Yeah, the way we use it now.
I think the reason why we use it now, and you know this, brother, and everybody on the channel, is that we try to turn a negative into a positive because we turn it into a term of endearment. And we make the excuse, because excuses are tools of the incompetent, and those that use them seldom succeed. Y'all know what I'm talking about here. In which we try to justify it. We try to justify it by saying, well, as long as I'm not using that hard, R and E. We use the term.
That's what they say nowadays.
Yeah,
that's not the reason why.
Term is a term of endearment to take something negative.
Let him answer, Mr. Information Man. Let him go. Let him give you his answer.
I'll stop right there.
That's not why we started using it in the first place. I mean, I'm from.
Would you agree that it's a component of it, a small component, brother? I'll just say that.
Well, when we started using it in the first place, it was the fact that white folks used to call us nigga, and we used to get mad and pissed off about it. And then in the end, we just start saying, you know what? I'm that nigga. I'm that nigga you love to hate. The one you talking about, dirty, low down. Ready to fight for themselves. Hold on. Wait a minute. Let me finish.
Are you familiar with the 70s and the movies and the biopics that came out?
I'm familiar with it. I'm an old man.
To popularize it?
I'm an old man, of course.
All right, sir. I got a little age on me too, sir. Don't take the baby face for.
I'm just saying. I'm an old man. I know what you're talking about.
I think you just validated his point. I'm just saying. You just validated his point.
It had nothing to do with hate.
No, you just said it was hate. Is it
not self-hate. Not self-hate. No. I never said it was self-hate.
Wait a minute. I haven't said anything. Let me go ahead and finish here. Let me tell you what I observed. Point of fact. You just said it was because of hate and niggas wanted to own.
Not self-hate. No, he said self-hate. He said self-hate. I didn't say nothing about self-hate.
No.
He did say self-hate. He said we hate each other. We hate ourselves. That's what he said.
Let me. Can I finish, brother? Can I finish?
Okay. Well, you telling me something I didn't say. That's what I'm saying. That's why I stopped.
Can I finish?
Yeah,
from what I understand. How about this? From what I understand, or from what I. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Brother, I gave you your respect and nobody said anything else. Come on, brother.
I'm being quiet, bro. Go ahead.
Okay. So you just stated that people were called niggas during slavery.
Not people.
You got it, bro.
White people. Go ahead. No, I mean I want you to say what I said now. Because you just said people, that could be anybody.
You got it, bro. You got it.
That could be anybody.
Go ahead. I know I ain't the only one who's seen that.
Said people. You said people. I never said people. I said white people.
Okay.
That was
telling us that. You got it, man.
I mean, can you get to the bottom line on why you have issues with fraternities or sororities? Because I'm not really getting an understanding. What is the main issue you have? Because you're saying a lot of stuff like you do.
Well, for me as a Christian, I said,
it goes against your Christian values.
Yeah, because you ain't supposed to pledge allegiance to nothing.
Now I'm about to shut you down right now. Now, I can speak for my organization. A lot of our black fraternities and sororities have a foundation that's in Christianity. For example, An
that
Alpha
don't
Phi
that.
Alpha fraternity. Let me just say what I'm about to say, brother, because see,
Go
this
ahead.
is the
I'm
problem
quiet.
I said before.
I'm
A
quiet.
lot of you
I'm
folks
quiet.
on
Go ahead.
social media think y'all know something,
Quiet.
but y'all don't know anything. You really don't. You only know the surface stuff that people tell you who are not in the organizations, who don't really know. A lot of our, if you go into our history book, a lot of our sayings and our things that we quote come straight from Bible language, such as in Alpha Phi Alpha, we have a term called light of the world. You can trace that back to the Bible. There's many things in our hymns and songs that we sing. Art, you know what I'm talking about, brother. We have a
Are you
lot of things that
Right.
have a
are you a
Christian.
Christian? Are you a Christian? I want to I want to
No,
preface
but the
that so I
fraternities,
know
sororities are
where you're
not,
coming
they're
from.
not Christian
I'm gonna be
organizations.
quiet,
Okay.
gentlemen.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
All right. Well, I want to preface where you was coming from. I mean, to see while I'm listening to you, I want to know where you coming from. That's all I'm saying. I just asked that question.
I'm a
I want
believer
to answer him.
of God. I am a believer. I'm a spiritual man. I do have my personal issues with religion in terms of the organization of it and some of the stuff that it has done to black people. But my point I'm trying to say
As
is
do I.
when
As do I.
people make the narrative that these organizations go against God, unless you're actually in them, you wouldn't know that there's a lot of phrases in hymns and things that we talk about that comes out of the Bible in terms of certain parables. So a lot of these organizations were founded by black men who themselves were Christian. And a lot of the reasons why we adapted the Greek letters, which were actually stolen from black people anyway, because if you read the book Stolen Legacies, and you would know the history of how the Europeans,
I
the
have, by the
Greeks,
way.
and the Romans, and how they went into Egypt or Kemet, distorted things, changed things, and got a lot of their history and their doctrine from ancient Egypt. And that's why Alpha Phi Alpha, we have the Sphinx as one of our symbols.
Yeah.
And many of you black folks on social media say,
Hair
Egyptians were black.
Hair
So we'll
as
use
y'all
that
call it.
term. We'll use black and old gold.
Yeah.
There's a significance of that to Africa for some people. So a lot of what you see in some of our organization is a mixture of Christianity and the African connection and the Black American connection here on this soil. Okay,
I agree. I agree.
Now, what happened is, imagine you are a black person on a college campus in 1906 or 1913 or 1911. All these organizations were created in the early 1900s.
Right.
And you're on a white campus, in particular my organization at Cornell University, and now you create an organization that's of black men coming together. You notice how that would be looked at as what is these Negroes about to do? So then what did black people have to do in those days? You had to adapt and fool people. You ever read the book and saw the movie The Spook that sits next to the door? So
Yes, I
we
have.
had to adapt.
The book, not the movie.
We
The
had
movie
to
and the book
adapt
is
the
about Kappa.
lettering. Thank you.
No, I'm
We
saying
had-
I
we had
read the book.
We had to adapt.
Yeah, but it's Bad Kappa, my brother. That's Bad Kappa Alpha Psi member.
Right,
Okay.
but the brother that actually played in the movie was, well, thank you. It's all great. It's all great. The point I'm trying to make here is, so you're on this college campus run by white folks. So you kind of it's like this, you want to make them think that you're trying to be like them when you actually have your own rituals, your own belief systems that's rooted in your African and your Black American heritage and your Christian heritage. That's one of the reasons why they adapted the Greek letters, brother. It wasn't because they're trying to be Greek, technically, or trying to be white folks. That's the little bit of history that most people don't know about, why they adapted to that. But if you look at all the inner workings of the organization, none of it was actually, in a sense, trying to be like white folks. Now you can say, well, the Christianity part, because people was pushing the idea that Jesus was white and all this sort of stuff, but that's really what it was about. All of our traditions and all the things that we do is nothing like white fraternities at all. None of the things that we even do is not even close. Okay.
They
And
even try to
so
copy us.
simply check this out. Simply, a lot of these organizations started off as social study clubs, meaning to come together to get through the college system to matriculate. So my organization in particular, we were a social study club first before we became a fraternity. The founders saw a greater need to become a fraternity because why? We want to spread this across all campuses, all universities, the idea of black men coming together because they're dealing with torrential racism, trying to think about it. Black men getting degrees, master's degrees, PhDs, becoming doctors in the early 1900s. You had to have a support group. That's what they actually originally were. They weren't founded on any Illuminati. See, I hear people say that dumb stuff about Illuminati. Has nothing to do with Illuminati.
Information man, can you let him say something? I want to ask him a question.
I'm gonna be quiet, brother.
I never thought
Matter of
that.
fact, I gotta
That they
get
was
ready to go
founded
in a
on
minute.
no
I
Illuminati.
yield the floor to
nothing
everybody
like
because
that.
I gotta go.
Historically,
man.
no, it wasn't founded on anything like the Illuminati or none of that crap. I know that. I'm not like I said, I'm not. That's not where I'm coming with from. You know what I'm saying? I respect them. You know what I'm saying? I respect it. I respect anybody that's doing something good in the community. I was just speaking about, why you have, the situation going on now. That's all I'm saying. As far as the Christianity and all that, the devil know the Bible better than, a lot of the Christians do. So I'm not even, for me, I was saying for me, that's why I didn't pledge. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, is that really why you didn't pledge though? Is that the only reason?
That's why, yeah.
Were
So you went to college.
Yeah.
What?
Were you offered?
Did I go to college? Yeah. Did I go to college?
I'm just saying because that's a prerequisite to pledging at that level. It's college.
Yeah. Well,
okay,
I
so
mean,
you went to college.
And there was self-explanatory.
Go ahead, Salty. You will ask the question, Salty.
So were you offered, or you just wasn't interested? What happened there?
I was offered, and I didn't want to.
Okay.
Who made the offer? I'm nosy. Who made the offer to you?
Yeah, because I'm curious too.
Well,
I'm gonna ask because people don't want to ask.
Yeah. Well, back then it was actually a couple people, but a couple groups. But like I said, I wasn't interested. And
which groups? Which groups?
I'm not gonna say.
Why not?
It's okay.
Why not?
Why would I? I didn't get into it, so I'm not gonna talk about anybody or disparage anybody. I mean, I could say a lot. I could say a lot. You know what I'm saying about what goes on or whatever, but that's not what I came here for. You know what I'm saying? It's not what I came here.
It's okay. So what did you come here for? Can you
I answered the question. All I did was answer the question that was asked. That was it.
Okay. No. I want to make sure you feel safe, my brother. Let me say this, brother Salt. You might be my big brother. I don't know my younger brother. I'm 2006, but let me say this to our brother. Hey, brother, look, I in no way have any malice against anybody's religion. Moody Bible Institute trained me on Christianity. I'm glad that Moody Bible Institute trained me as a Bible scholar in Bible competitions on Christianity. I am glad the Nation of Islam took me as a Muslim. I'm glad the Hebrews did so. I'm not glad also my
hold on, you breaking up.
You breaking up, Complex. Your Obama phone is
it's my issues, man. You don't see my issues? It's
you breaking up. Damn, I want to hear what you're saying. Bro.
Can y'all hear right now?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. So, no, it's all love, brother. Like, I consider those like degrees. Like, I haven't lost not one of my degrees in those. But what I want people to do is, whatever you practice, understand with depth what you practice.
Yeah, we can't hear you, bro. You're breaking up, Complex.
Yeah. Okay, let me take this.
Complex, your phone is powered by mild sauce, man.
No, it's the Illuminati phone. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Illuminati.
Yeah.
He in Chicago, down off of Lake parked somewhere in 35th and the phone is
Just
cutting out.
stay out of Harold's Chicken, man. You'd be good. You know.
All the sauce
Yeah,
that
he
got
down
into
there.
the phone.
He down in the wild. He down in the wild 100.
Yeah, was it Uncle Remus?
500.
Uncle Remus is better anyway. Was it Uncle Remus?
Oh
Hey,
wow.
hey, I agree with you, but you know them Chicagoans will get in our ass about it, man. They've been to start a whole civil war.
Yeah, so just going back to the part about, I guess you used religion or Christianity as a prerequisite.
Yeah.
You know, that's, I mean, I don't know why would you use that for an organization rather than a church or a temple. You know, organizations, even though a lot of organizations pray and do all kinds of stuff, it's not a religious institution. You know what I'm saying? They do have respects for the institution of religion, but it's not a religious institution. And I can speak for mine. I don't know how far the other ones will want to talk
Yeah.
about as well.
You don't got to do that. Go ahead.
But I mean, that's the thing. And I think Information Man was trying to tell you, a lot of people in our organization are pastors, are hell priests. You know,
Yeah.
so
Don't I know?
it is nothing against what you believe in. And I'm not trying to do any kind of recruit or nothing. I think the elephant in the room is that most of us, we just don't recruit. We're not on record saying, "Hey, we need you," or "Join us." We're like the army. It's not like that, man. I'm just letting you know. That's why we try to figure out who's trying to recruit you, man.
In his defense, though, I can say it's happened to me before. So in his defense, I can't say that's totally true, bro. When you're a bad motherfucker on campus, it is what it is.
Yeah, what it is.
He must have been a bad man.
Don't do the Sigmas like that. That ain't here, man.
Hey, I
Oh,
love
not the community
Sigmas,
colleges. Come on, man.
No, I love the Sigmas because UP News is Sigma and his partner,
Bobby Seals.
Bobby Seals.
Bobby Seals. Yeah.
I'm
A lot
joking.
of everybody Sigma members. No, I know you're joking, but I want to make sure the public understands, though. Like, I know a Phi Beta Sigma had a lot of revolutionaries on board.
It was big in the Harlem Renaissance. It was big in the Harlem Renaissance. Yeah.
Yeah, and Alpha Phi Alpha was part of that. Kappa was part of that. I mean, even the brother Fred Hampton, Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. is a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, and so on and so forth. We've all been involved in revolution, but the brother must have been a bad man on campus. They will secretly come to you. If you want a bad man on campus, they will secretly come to talk to, bro. You wouldn't understand that. So I'm gonna have to tell you that man right. I'm not gonna do that man like that. He right.
Oh no, I'm messing around, man.
Okay, my bad. You up here hazing. I'm gonna make all y'all scared. You up here hazing, bro? You hazing?
Well, I say this much. But at the end of the day, people could give you the information, but you know, and I know, we all know, it's all self-determined and self-initiated. You know what I mean, right? You know, what good are you to anything if you know your heart isn't in it, as you already know. So I will say that. But brother, you did bring up the point. Something about not necessarily visibly seeing Greeks. Now you do have some Greeks who do advertise, and then you have some Greeks who just do things just because it's the right thing to do, right? And not necessarily, advertising, because when you advertise, it's mercenarial in nature. You're doing it for the benefit of the organization rather than just saying, hey, you know what? I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do, right? I mean, it's a wonder. Now, don't get me wrong. I involved myself in Kappa League when I was young, but, there was that much more many people. Once I did cross it, I did find out that was in my community that was Greek that I didn't know was Greek before. That was actually guiding me and pointing me the right way, right? There's also the thing that you did say. You said something about there's guys who were felons who came back out to the streets of Detroit to do the right thing. Now I ain't knocking those brothers and salute to them, but guess what? They should. They owe the community a debt, right? They did sins against the community, right? And so
No, wait a minute. Hold on. As an individual, you don't owe anybody anything.
So if you
Right.
if so
Right.
there's no room for reconciliation if you
Well,
did wrong to the
you
community as
can
a felon.
you
I'm
can
just saying.
well if you paid your debt to society, what are you talking about?
Well, you can pay
our
your debt.
organization paid debt to society for hundreds of years, and you pretty much saying you can't get down with us, and because we not visible, but them organizations that
No.
paid.
Oh, I'm not saying I can't. I'm not saying they can't get down with you because you're visible. I'm saying not being visible gives people that the secret society feeling, and that's just how people are. You know how people are. If anything is weird, or fun, you know they're gonna take it a certain way. That's just how it is. You
So
know.
you
But if
want you
you
want to go
if
you
you
want to
more
go online for
visible,
40 days. Let me ask you a question. So you want to go online for 40 days and 40 nights like Jesus did, right? Like Moses and the Israelites did, right? You want to go online 40 days, 40 nights. Just go ahead and stand, my brother. Because they was online.
no.
You want to
I'm
return
not.
from the
I'm not.
home when you 13
I'm
years
not.
old
I'm not
and then
asking.
return
I'm
when you
not
18
asking.
like Jesus did, right? You want to
I'm
get
not asking
initiated.
you to do
Because
anything. I'm not
Jesus
asking them to
asked him,
do
but I'm letting
anything.
you know, the guy you call Yeshua, Jesus, asked and came from a family where he got initiated. You don't come at the Black Greek letter organizations that you heard of on the side. These on the side organizations. Christianity got initiation. You want that? You need to talk about that, my brother. You want that initiation?
Yeah,
You want that
right.
secret
Yeah,
knowledge?
yeah. That's
You need to go
right.
to the book of Exodus
That's
called
right.
Vayikra. You need to go to the book of
Yeah,
Vayikra in
yeah.
the
And that's
Torah
supposed to be
and
the
read
only one. That's
how
supposed to be the
it's
only one.
online.
That's
That's
supposed
supposed
to
to
be
be
the
the
only
only one?
one. Yeah, yeah. You
Why?
ain't supposed to pledge
Why is
allegiance to
supposed to be the only
anything but
one?
God. Because you ain't supposed
Okay.
to
Okay,
pledge allegiance to anything but God,
which God? Tools
huh?
or Woden? Which God? Tools or Woden?
I mean, you can figure out the one you want it to be.
Now
Let
that's
me
to
let me
you.
ask you
You
this.
said
Let
what
me
side
ask
you
you this.
have.
Figure out
Let
the
me
one you
ask you
want it
this.
to be.
The car that you sitting in,
Hmm.
did you pay straight up or did
Yeah,
you
I paid
do
cash.
a
I paid cash for. I paid cash for it.
okay, are you a
What kind
homeowner?
of car is it?
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
brother. Hey,
I
brother
own
Salty. I
several
want to know what
homes.
kind of car it
I'm in
is.
the real
Okay.
estate. I'm in the
Okay,
It's a
real
and
reason.
estate.
It's a
did
reason,
you pay
Salty.
cash for your first home in
My first
full?
home, my first home, no, I didn't pay cash
Oh,
for it.
so you did it on contracts,
Yes, I did.
right?
Yeah,
Ah, which
that's
is a
not pledging.
commitment.
That's not pledging allegiance. You don't pledge.
What are you
All
doing?
right.
That's not a
What
lifelong. Wait. You
Salty, I
pledging.
gotta ask him,
Wait a
Salty.
minute. Hold
What's the
on.
name of his car brand, Salty? I need to know the name of his car brand.
I'm just saying because a lot of those have symbols on the cars too. Would you
That's what
agree?
I'm asking, Salty.
You
What's the
said
name of his car brand?
wait. You said symbols on the car.
What's the name of your car
Yes.
brand? What brand of car are you in? Not the year,
This
just the brand.
I'm in the Jeep right now.
Nissan? Who make Jeep? I
I
don't
said
know.
Jeep.
GM?
Cherokee Jeep is the brand, but
Jeep is
Cherokee
the
or whatever.
brand.
Yeah, Jeep
I
is the
think
brand.
GM makes them
Jeep.
now.
Yeah.
You ever own a Nissan before?
Nissan. No, never on the Nissan.
What's the car you own before?
I've on Ford. I've owned Dodge. Let's see. I've owned uh Chevy.
Cool. Cool. So let me say this, Salty, real fast.
Okay.
You ever wore Nikes?
No, I don't. I never wore Nike. I'm
Never
a
wore
New Balance
Nikes.
man. I'm a New Balance man.
Okay. New Balance. So
Yeah,
none you
always
wear
on
and
New
say that
Balance.
nobody else is God. No day of the week you say is nobody else is God. You just want to come at the Black Greek letter organizations, but you're going to deal with some of these other brands that's out here. You're going to go to Starbucks. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Because honestly, if you live your life that way, you can't go nowhere.
Did I say I wouldn't work with them? I said anybody that's doing something good in the community, I'm all for them. Didn't I
But
not
you
say
also
that?
said, but you also
I
mentioned
said
because
I
you can't.
didn't pledge to them because that's what I
Now,
said.
But
maybe
you
my voice is
also
high, my volume is high. I'm gonna calm my voice down because I
yeah,
want you to be calm, brother.
but there
I
was
want you to
I'm
feel
also
safe
calm.
and calm.
yeah,
I'm
Okay.
but
calm.
there was also the double entendre mentioned earlier that
It kind of was.
yeah, even the devil knows the Bible,
That's
right?
right. Because that's what you were
And,
saying, that they had a base in Christianity, and I'm like, okay, that don't mean nothing.
okay, so there was
That's all I was
an
saying.
inference. There's an inference that
Wow.
100 that these organizations are still more or less involved with demonic worship. I caught it. I caught
No,
it. It was
I
said a
didn't say
while
that.
back. It
I
was
didn't
it was
say that.
You kind of
it,
did though.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't say nothing about no demons or nothing. I said that
It was
I said
inferred.
that pledges.
Is what
That
brother
no,
said.
I didn't infer anything. That's what you wanted to put in my mouth. I never said that.
I
I
want to
told
put
you
in your mouth.
exactly.
Pause, my
I
brother.
told you
Pause.
exactly what I said. What I said is exactly what I meant. I didn't have anything around it. No triple meanings. None of that.
I wish
Okay.
everybody else in the chat who's blowing the chat up, saying all these things will come in and help you, brother. Because honestly, you can see every brother in here is just trying to be your brother. Like demonic people do not want to be your brother. Demonic, you don't need to be
Okay.
recruited. Nobody needs to recruit you, and you are your beliefs are respected. I personally deal with African spirituality like your Yeshua does.
Yeah.
Yeshua was an African spiritualist. You know, using salt and stuff to heal the blind and stuff. I believe in that. What Yeshua called Jesus Emmanuel did. I believe in that. I take some salt and heal somebody with something. I pray in some Epsom salt. I pour some salt on the brother. You ever heard that from down south? Pour salt on them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll pour some salt. You mentioned the dozens. That's pouring salt too a little bit. Now I
Yeah.
pour a
Definitely.
little salt. I'm gonna pouring a little salt like Jesus poured a little salt. Let's go to the altar now. So, brother, the point is, you kind of did, brother Salty. Speaking of point a little salt, brother Salty. He's saying that you kind of pointed to that you kind of saying they're demonic though in a way when you inferred that just because even the devil knows the Bible, you know, just because it was rooted in the Bible, even the devil knows the Bible. You kind of inferred that kind of infers that these black letter organizations, kind of like yourself, and this is what I was going to ask you. You said you Christian. Where's the word Christian come from? What people?
Well, that's what we know. We know that Christian Christos is a Greek word, and I
Okay,
do
so
understand. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
All right, he had 12 disciples too,
When
right?
I say right, because I'm with you. Words
That's a
do matter.
fraternity.
Wait a
That's a
minute. Wait a minute.
fraternity.
Words do matter, right?
Yeah, they do. Jesus
Okay.
Christ was in a fraternity. Is what I'm
Okay.
trying to prove to you. Do you
Words.
disagree?
Well, I mean, it depends on what you mean because
Jesus Christ was in a
if you
Greek letter
ask,
fraternity. That's all I'm asking.
if you ask about Christianity, in fact, there was really no Christianity. That's a new concept. But
Thank you. Because Jesus was not there. There you go.
Speaking in today's terms is the reason I said Christianity. You know, there was no Christianity. They made that up. You know what I'm saying? It was a way of life. So that's just how you
No,
live.
brother, it's from the Council of Nicaea, brother. And they
You said what?
use the Council of Nicaea. They use this term, this figure called Suraptus Christos to make
Yeah,
a deity.
yeah.
Okay, you got to look it up, Christos. So that's where you
Right.
got it, Suraptus Christos.
Well,
That's Greek.
I understand that, but that's kind of what I said. But I didn't go all the way into it. But what I'm saying is there was no Christianity. There wasn't any. Okay,
So what was there then?
It was a way of life. It was the way they lived. You know what I'm saying?
I like you, brother.
You had a certain way to live. It's kind of like Islam, right? I mean, that's kind of what explains Islam. You know what I'm saying? It was a way of life. It was the way you live. There was no religion. You know, religious. That's why I say, you know, it just depends on how you. If you talk in today's terms, you know, you're gonna say you're a Christian. You know, but the reality of it is, you know, and unless you follow today's religion, you know, yeah, you're not really a Christian. You know what I'm saying? That's just how I was explaining it. That's all.
Oh, I think Salty, we getting understanding of brother now.
Yeah.
I think we get on a more even level playing with the brother. A more to understand. You getting it, Salty, and brother Art, you getting that even playing too? I know Dinah's getting it.
Sir, hey, go ahead. Yeah, we'll go ahead and start closing out. I'll put the link in the chat room if anybody's calling, call in. But if not, we'll go ahead and start closing out. Salty Noob, you got anything else you want to share?
I say, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I'm not going to sit up here and lie and act as though, you know, Black Greekdom is perfect. It is not. You know, every facet of the Black community does need some sort of review or whatnot. But if this is where the argument is, then it doesn't land right, and it's just ideological issues. Now, if people want to point out to more or less what Complex said, narcissism and things like that, then okay, you know what I mean. But if you're talking about, I mean, there's bigger fish to fry. I mean, it really is,
It
you
is.
know, and I think that this is one of the institutions within the Black community that's been long standing, and I think it is part of a subterfuge, a soft power subterfuge, where nothing. I mean, it's a way to keep the Black community in disorder, because the same people who critique Black Christendom critique Black Greekdom, and it all comes from what I like to point out anyway, white liberalism to begin with. You know what I mean? And so I think that when people really, really take a step back and look at it from an eagle eye standpoint, no longer are you going to see people marching through the streets with hoods and pitchforks and fires and stuff like that. You're going to see people using all these multi-syllabic words and stuff like that, coming in your classrooms and things like that, controlling your kids. Those are things that you may want to consider as a bigger fight when it comes to the community and it being intact than attacking Black Greeks. And I'll land my plane there.
Go ahead, Art.
I agree.
Yeah, I
By the
appreciate you. Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead, Complex.
Hey man, Dynast, yo people in your chat are funny. So they're now trying to put it to Black Greek letter organizations are LG or LB some Little Jumbo Boy, whatever groups. Man, y'all are tripping because y'all will lose all y'all women messing around with the BGLOs. But I'm gonna leave that be. I'm gonna leave that be and take it to a nice level.
That comes as
Brothers, I appreciate y'all for everything y'all have say. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate Jesus Christ. I appreciate Yahweh. I appreciate Olodumare. I appreciate Allah. I appreciate our people. I appreciate y'all opinions. But let's get to learn each other. Let's get to learn deeper. Let's get to learn. If we say we're Christian, let's learn that to the fullest extent and be African-centered Christians. If we're Muslims, be African-centered Muslims. We are African practitioners. Still be knowledgeable about what we say before we say it, or at least get some knowledge and some elders behind us. And let's join together and let's actually do this, continue this work together. I'm gonna say that. And if you're gonna denounce something, let it be because of despotism and bogus politics before anything. Other than that, don't let it be because of your religion that you don't even know. Peace and blessings. Oh,
Peace.
one more
Go
thing.
ahead.
Anybody, wait. Anybody know Professor James Small on this channel? Please let him know that Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. and myself have reached out to his team to see if he can come on as Search for Uhuru on YouTube. If you know Professor James Small, please let him know we left him messages, and please check on the brother, make sure he's okay, and let us know at least that. Okay, peace and blessings.
All right, cool. Art, go ahead, Art, and I'll pass it to King within after you. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'll call Professor James probably after work, and I'll just listen to the playback and see what you want to tell him. But anyhow, my whole thing is people want to say what they want to say and have their what do you call it, issues or whatever about any organization or whatever. But my whole thing is don't lie. You don't have to lie, for people to try to beat your drum, or dance to the beat of your drum. I mean, if there's some issues about these organizations, talk about the things that are happening, and then we can have a better conversation. But every time you lie and we confront you, for the most part, there's a lot of hemming and hawing, or probably some ad hominems and some fights. And my whole thing is just don't lie. That's all I would say. I appreciate you, Dynast, for having me up, and hopefully we have more of these conversations with Divine Nine, so we can kill all these rumors. Peace, y'all.
All right, go ahead, Akeem, within one.
Okay. Yeah, it was just for me. It was just answering the question, and from what I understand, talking to different people, And you know, when as it stands, like I said, you know, is I think we're coming from, you know, different hurts and harms in our community, and you know, during the drug epidemic and stuff like that, we lost a lot of the uh, a lot of the knowledge and stuff, you know, just didn't pass over from, you know, one generation to the next. So then you had children raising children, and then what you have today is a lot of people that's, you know, it's a lot of lost people out there. You know what I'm saying? So as I see that is actually getting better, more people are waking up to what's going on, and you know, and who we I won't say who we were, you know, um, prior to the late I'm gonna say the 70s, up through, you know, the 2000s. You know, just the smallest stuff, like not coming outside with your pajamas on, and you know, and bonnets and all. You know, it's just, you know, you wouldn't catch a black person before that coming out. Like you wouldn't catch it. You wouldn't see it. You know, you just wouldn't see it. You wouldn't see them talking to each other like they do in public, calling each other nigga and stuff. You wouldn't see it. Not in public. They might say it, you know, in private, messing around, but they wouldn't never say that in public. You know, so it's just, you know, the generations just, you know, we lost a lot, and you know, we have a lot to regain. And I gotta say, that having these types of conversations, you know, it actually brings people back together, because once you have the conversation, then you got to come up with solutions, you know, to try to fix try to fix the situation. So, uh, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. Of course not. You know, it didn't, you know, we didn't lose all of that overnight. So it's not going to happen overnight. But I think, you know, the channels like this, where you're able to come on and have these types of conversations, uh, I think it's a help. It's a big help. And I land my plane.
All right, cool, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family. That is Amir. Search for Haru. Peace.